All right, guys, what's up? We are here with a $400 Team Liquid map contest open. Dot just opened the door and shouted in here. We are looking at the maps which are in the shortlist to become next season's ladder maps. We're hosting a tournament here. We've got Astrea in the bottom left. And we're starting off on a rush map, Waterfall. The opponent in the top right, it's Vindicta. These players, rather than vetoing, since there are 16 maps in this tournament, and it's either a massive veto process for the players. Oh, there's a little ford. Oh, there's a little pebbly crossing in the river. That's amazing. So anyways, these guys, teammates from Alpha X, they've said, rather than vetoing Pig, you can pick the maps. We don't even care. We're happy to try these new maps. We haven't really looked at them too deeply. Show us what you got. So first of all, this is awesome. It looks like there's like some Protoss spaceship shit in there underneath the expansions, marking kind of where to take your bases. So guys, always put your base on the hole so that when your Nexus or your command center needs to empty the septic tank, they empty it into this little energy shield disappears when you pull the button, and then all the poo just drops out the bottom of the command center down underneath it. So it's really nice. Now this is a rush map that I picked to start us off in this series, guys. It's a very small map. So normally one rush map makes it into each season. And I think it's really cool to kind of see always having a map that's a bit different. Curious Minds is our current one leading into this. And we expect this new map pool shortly after the World Championship at Katowice, which is coming up in just a couple weeks, guys. So the SCV blocked the gas just momentarily, but not too long. And Astrea, they're going to build an Adept. Chrono boost that one out. It does start Warp Gate as well, so it looks like a bit of a blinky blink. And did the probe just die? Oh, he lost his probe! Who killed him? Was it the Reaper? Okay, the Reaper did manage to kill the probe, but I think the probe delayed the command center a little bit. So being nice and annoying, we're seeing Reaper Marine Factory. Very traditional build order from Vindicta. And he's just going to hang around and keep track of that Adept and say, hey, if my Reaper's threatening, you can't go across the map with your Adept, or you will lose some probes. So the Adept's just waiting on the high ground, doesn't want to show himself. He wants, to try and trick Vindicta into coming a little bit too deep. And, yeah. Ooh. Okay, the Reaper does go there. So these Adepts, a little bit of a trap. Some people, of course, have out there. I've read on Reddit different, very interesting experiences with very, interesting people. And I think those Adepts were using that same sort of strategy of, put a baby in me! Basically, they were just waiting on the high ground. Bit of a secret trap there, but the Reapers managed to avoid it, sneaks in, gets a probe. Oh my god, he's going to get a second probe here, not to mention the one that was killed on its side of the map. That's 2 probes. He's going to go down. The Adepts on the other side, are they killing much? Well, they're being annoying, but they haven't killed anything just yet. And the Adept's going to try and shade up the ramp here. Cancels Attack Lab and starts a Widowbind. Vindicta realizes, shit, okay, I need to actually be able to fight this. Doesn't have that many Marines just yet, but with the Hellion out here, that really helps gun down these Adepts. Going after that weak Adept, it does fall. This one should be able to shade out, and you can see it was hitting the Hellion there. Now, Hellion can get repaired up, so one Drilly Boy is going to say, taste my drill, but this time in a friendly way. Normally, when you pull the SCVs to fight your opponent, it's like a very aggressive, taste my drill! In this case, it's taste me drill, mate, and they just kind of screw the tires back on and have some fun. Now, keep in mind, you've got a front third base that's on a little bit of a ledge, but of course could get sieged from the low ground really early. You've got this third, which I think is more likely to be taken. You've got a ramp there as well. And this time, there's another little river, but this time you've got a little energy shield bridge over it. I'm really enjoying the aesthetics of all the maps lately, guys. There's some little red floaty things here. They're space bacteria. I'm going to say they're space bacteria. Now, Astrea's taken the third base over here. Do we have upgrades done yet? Blink is still not done. It's a very late blink here for Astrea. And this early game has been a little scrappy. And he's making a robo quite late as well. But it's a well-timed third. It is a very well-timed third, so that's very nice. The Widowmine drop snaking its way around the right side of the map. We've got 3 barracks on the way. Factory and Starport are going to go build reactors for themselves, and these 2 barracks are going to plonk themselves down on those tech labs, and that's going to, of course, be the beginning of Stim and Shields. Hallucinated Phoenix here being steered around the Marines, and Astrea will see everything that goes on. Vindicta, though, is he going to dive with the Widowmine drop? It looks like right now it's just taken up station, and there's actually nothing in position right now. Come on, Vindicta. I think this is a great opportunity to get in there and do some boom booms. You're going to make boom boom, Mr. Vindicta? Come on. Come on, Miguel. You know you want to make boom booms. This is like, they're out of position. I mean, obviously, a lot of the time, the Stalkers are just waiting. You go in, they blink on you, you die. So he kind of wants to wait with this until the Stalkers show up on his side of the map or something like that, and then goes in. I'm not sure. I don't think Astrea saw this flying into position. I don't think he has any idea that's there. And since there hasn't been a drop, He says, well, guess what? It's past the timing where a Widowmine drop would have come in. My Stalkers are going to go across the map to pressure and contain. And Vindicta here, waiting patiently for the NA Widowmine drop timing. So what is an NA Widowmine drop timing? It's when you wait till 2 minutes after a Widowmine drop should have hit, and that's when you go in, and it's when your opponent least expects it. So this only works for those players who are high level and have brains. Astrea is one of the biggest brain players though. So I bet, look at this, Stalkers go in the main, he waits till he does that, and this is perfect for Vindicta. But, oh, he clicks in the wrong position. A bit of panic, a bit of miss micro there. He does move them though. Does he get the big booms? Oh, we get some decent booms. The Stalkers do kill 6 SCVs and then recall out. Bit of mining time. Does save both Widow Mines, so that's still okay. That's pretty worth it for Vindicta. But if he dropped there and there, they probably would have naturally split fired a little bit more. Or if he had the APM to target them, right? That would have been one of those moments where you see like Clem or Maru, if they're like really peak mechanics, they target one on this probe, one on that probe, and then they get like the big booms. Hard to do. Easy to talk about doing, hard to actually pull off. The Observer, they're using its pervert mode in exactly... Oh, he actually was too far off, so he didn't see the move out. Uh-oh, Astrea didn't see the move out. Oh my god, Astrea messed up his pervert mode. Never mind, he had one on the right anyway, so it actually doesn't matter. He does know about this. First Colossus is almost out. Viagra is not even started just yet. Widowmine drop comes in, and this is just to try to set up for that push on the front. Very well done, though. He's got a lot of sentries, and the Widowmine's just going to kill 2 probes. Astrea with some fantastic handling, but it ain't over yet. More Widowmine drops coming in the main, and this is the best way to kill a Protoss player, guys. Threaten on the front, and then Widowmine drop. Sorry, I don't know why I looked away from that. 12 probes go down. 12 probes. I'm kind of wondering what else is going on here. Does he get the Observer? Click the Observer. Oh, the Observer gets away the medevac. And yeah, the Observer does allow him to clear up all of that. It's still a Widowmine drop there. Looks like the other Widowmine drop has gone down. Third base is kind of delayed here. And as there's a Colossus out with a second on the way, as long as Viagra starts up momentarily for Astrea, these daddy longlegs are going to be a huge problem for Vindicta. If he starts plus the Viagra and then goes charge, he could go kill him. Now, of course, Astrea is Astrea, so he very rarely thinks about killing his opponent, right? How often do you see Astrea go for a kill? Usually, he will instead say, let's take a 4th, let's keep probing. But the fact that he's frozen on 57 probes, no 4th Nexus started, and never mind, he's about to start a 4th Nexus. That's, oh no. Spotting pylons, spotting probe, okay. That Widowmine will go down. Might prompt Vindicta to float into the main with that, but looks like no, not just yet. Where's his, I guess he's been dropping and losing medevacs, hasn't he? He's already lost 3 medevacs, so he's not even healed back up on his army, and he actually just has nothing to deal with force fields and Colossus right now. Vindicta might just lose this game, guys. This could be a nasty one. Uh-oh. Oh, I do like the Widowmine drops for buying time, but I mean, his awareness is just so good as Astrea's. It's all this little budget map vision he's putting everywhere, plus these observers being absolute shitheads, and they're just seeing everything that goes on. Now he's going to pull those Stalkers out of the main. The main base is still open to that single Widowmine drop. Could do a big one, of course, on the front. Vindicta's got to pull back. He's got to get out of there. That Widowmine, you know, you do have to look at it and tell it to burrow. This is one of the problems with the Widowmine drop compared to a Zealot drop. Can be a little bit more automated. He's going to try and dive on it, but I said there's nothing to deal with Force Field Colossus here. Just got his first 2 Vikings out, and that tech advantage is just too deep. Vindicta sticking on kind of Widowmines and stuff for a long time, but I think at some point there, he needed to swap from Widowmine harassment into maybe a drop of bio into the main, kill some Stalkers, and if he was able to start whittling down the Stalker count, forcing Astrea to replace those, maybe he could have opened up some opportunities. As it is, though, Astrea does take him down there with a very confident first map. For those who don't know, Dan's Game Station, one of the silliest maps that I rag on all the time, that came from the one season that I was a judge of the Team Liquid map contest. And people were like, I can't believe the judges even shortlisted this, let alone that people then voted for it and it made it into the map pool. And I was like, did you see the map? And people were like, yeah, it's insane. For those who don't remember Dan's Game Station, Dasan Station is technically what it's called. Go give it a Google, StarCraft 2 Dasan Station, and you will see one of the most ridiculous rush maps of all time. People will say, you know, it was crazy, it was stressful to play on. I was like, dude, is it really stressful? Like, if you, the thing is, you've got nothing on the line in a game of StarCraft, really. Oh, I might lose some points. But it gives such variety. It's you literally get to go from, oh, yes, sir, I'll throw my gauntlet down and we'll have a duel. I'll throw down my glove and we'll have a gentleman's duel. But you know what's more fun than a gentleman's duel? It's having the option, 1 in 7 ladder maps, a map which you can just veto if you want. You can always just veto it. but the option to literally pick up a chainsaw, step into a crowded convenience store filled with other people who've also got chainsaws and hatchets and fire axes, and then just fucking go at it with each other and see who's standing at the edge. Is it as gentlemanly and strategic as two men walking 5 paces and turning and firing their pistols at each other? Maybe not, but it's fucking fun. And yes, at some point you're gonna get your head chainsawed off and it's gonna feel ridiculous, but sometimes you'll chainsaw the other person's head off and it'll feel really hilarious and fun. What am I looking at right now, guys? What? Guys, what's this? Oh! 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 Oh my god! Everybody! Guys, we are doing Centuries Later, one of the special maps. Astrea is going to keep returning minerals to this assimilator, swapping it out for gas so that he can mine open a second ramp to Vindicta's main base. Oh, Astrea, you absolute Chad gamer. You absolute Chad gamer. Oh, he's so clever. Oh, he's so clever. This is 200 minerals. This is going to take a while to open up, but he's going to do it, dude. This is so sick. And he's just shift commanded it. And every now and then he goes back and just queues up more shift commands using that amazing pro gamer APM. And he's playing just a standard Phoenix build behind it, but he's going to set up for a big charge lot backstab. And if Vindicta doesn't scout for that, this could absolutely kill him. This is actually sick. Okay, guys, we've got an orbital up there. We've got a proxied starport for Vindicta. He's going to play very aggressively. This game, I mean, shit could hit the fan really fast. Remember, Astrea's already up 1 game up in this series, and Astrea's so creative. This is why, honestly, I could just put Astrea on the new maps. He looks at a map and he instantly thinks of the coolest stuff that he could do. I could just put him on these new maps for like 20, 30 games and have so much fun with it. So the thing is, it's a normal build. He just spends 75 extra minerals and has 1 probe there. And by 5, maybe 6 minutes, he should be able to open those minerals up. This is very cool. Now, he's got to watch out though, because he has spent a bit of minerals on that. And, oh, but he's a god! He's a god. He scouts the starport. And Vindicta's like, oh, you're kidding me, man. He goes to start a medevac, and then he's like, do I even bother? But, uh-oh, no shield battery. Uh-oh, these depths need to split right now. They're taking splash damage, mate. Oh, he tries to kill the Hellion, but great micro there. Gonna have to pull the probes. He has to fight with the probes. As bad as that feels, he's got to kill that Hellion, that one Hellion. It's on 2 hit points, but he just can't kill it right now. 1 probe hit would kill that Hellion, but the Bernie car is burning right now. Oh, no. Oh, Astrea's taking so much damage. Oh, look at this. He's trying just 1 probe hit. Just let me get 1 probe hit, bro. The Phoenix, finally a new one pops out with energy, but not before 10 probes go down. Make it 11. Ah, that fucking Hellion, dude. That micro. If he didn't pull that Hellion back, it would have died from the Adept. That's actually insane. Now, he's still trying to mine this out, and he's going 4 gases, which is interesting. If I was Astrea, I would probably just try to charge load all in, maybe take a 3rd. The gases mean maybe he'll just go like charge Archon or something. I do expect a Twilight Council to pop up in the near future. Armory Widowmine drop is coming in. He has no detection right now, guys. Oh, wait, no, he has an Observer out. He should be okay then. It's just he's got to make sure he cleans this up pretty quickly, right? It's easy to be a little slow to react. Astrea, he sees it. He sees it. A little too slow to pull probes. Oh, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. He didn't pick it up. Oh, yes, he did. Just in time. Oh, perfect. 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 No chrono boost available, and he didn't pull the observer back. So he's waiting for this observer. That's going to be out in 11 seconds. These guys are going to fire in 15 seconds. He should get it out just in time. 1, 2, 3, 4 lifts available. So Astrea going to put guys on gas there. Finish saturating. He's going to go Colossus. So he's going to play a little turtley here. His creative opening to open up this backdoor. I mean, Vindicta still doesn't know about it, which is kind of amazing. But if he ever floats a drop out this way, he might see this, right? So man, this takes so long to mine out 200 minerals. So guys, what's funny is if you take the base here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 patches, but these patches are really awkwardly placed, these ones. So even if you put a base here, I think this mines, especially those 2 patches and this patch, quite a bit less efficiently than a normal base. So I think if you put a base here, it actually doesn't, it's maybe, I would say, I'm gonna guess 13, maybe 12.5% less efficient than a normal base. Obviously, you get these extra minerals, so you do get an extra 400 minerals if these haven't been mined out. But just something to keep in mind, this base does look a little bit less efficient with its mineral placement, whereas a standard base placement, you can see is very consistent in terms of the way they're placed, the distance and so on. So Definitely something to keep in mind. Jesse Ryan, thank you for the 2-month resub. And we've got multiple Cyclones going into tanks now. Of course, it was a fast third command center. And it's equal workers, which is pretty bad for Astrea. So Astrea's going to have to try and do a real hero hold. You can see right now he's spreading his Phoenix all across the map to just make sure he doesn't get surprised by anything. He's even checked the very corner to see if there's something hiding there. And he's got a Phoenix checking his back corner. Looks like, is that a sky blocking? Oh, apparently you can't fly past these skyscrapers by the looks of it. Looks like that's actually not dead space back here, which is interesting. Speaking of which, what am I looking at? Ewoks! I mean, they're technically not Ewoks, guys. They have some special name because, I mean, copyright or whatever, right? But basically, it looks like there's an Ewok fire down there. We've got a few Ewoks hanging out next to one of their little huts. That is adorable. Oh my god, they live in the tree. They live in the tree, dude. Apparently, they're called Moopies. Yeah, they're Moopies. They're definitely not Ewoks, guys. Guys, if you call them Ewoks, they're going to execute Order 66. It's where George Lucas appears knocking on your door saying, "Ree!" And he just rees at you until you agree to call them something else. Oh man, this is a good economy for Vindicta, guys. I don't see Vindicta losing this game. It's 45 minerals. He's almost there. I seriously can't believe this still has not been spotted. This takes so long to open up. This is actually insane, guys. Astrea is just like, he's picking up dudes, he's harassing, he's playing a normal game, and he's still shift clicking this. So I wonder if you queue that up, like, can you queue it up like 14 times in a row? Or do you have to go back every trip and re-click it, I wonder? I'm not sure. No, it looks like he's queued it up many times in a row. Ooh, Colossus, good unit, but tank very good versus Colossus. Ooh, pull back. He's got to stay out of those tanks range. So without charge, he's in huge trouble. He's got charge. Oh, he'll be okay if he can get out like 15 zealots. If he can flank these tanks with zealots from the right side, he will be okay. The Viking goes down, picks off a Marine, does take a bit of damage on that Phoenix, almost losing it, does lose it. Marine on the right side. Oh, another Phoenix goes down as well. Ow, ow, ow. Should have gone right around the far right side and just started picking off the reinforce. 5 Phoenix, much better for picking off Marauders and the like than just 3 Phoenix. Not going to be as effective at that. Flies back over the army. Astrea a little lazy here right now, but he's warping in his big zealot run by where's his probe? 15 minerals! 15 minerals left! He's going to do it! Guys, 9 minutes into this game, this one probe has worked so hard, swapping its minerals and gas back and forth. It's finally about to be there. Now remember, guys, when you do this, you're not getting the minerals or the gas. Every time, you're just losing those. They're evaporating into nowhere, but the last 5 minerals. He built it for this moment. It's open! It's open! Let's go, lads! 15 zealots are gonna walk into the main. At this point, I'm wondering if just building a warp prism would have been more worthwhile. But it catches Vindicta completely unprepared. No units at home. His whole army in the worst possible scenario. The timing of this kicking in was actually insane. This is doing so much. It's going to kill the reactors on both his factory and his starport. It's already killed 8 SCVs. The army threatens to jump on top of him, forces Vindicta to panic siege. He's trying to get back there, but he's losing so much. All of his bio popping out is dying. His starport might die as well. It's already almost set on fire. The zealots are killing armory. Command centers basically on fire. More zealots joining in. This army in the middle still being watched by an observer. I do think maybe it's time to pull back, but there's not that much bio there, dude. The zealots are like coming around the left side. They're going to get on top of this. These zealots are a little bit derpy, not quite getting on top of the units there. But dude, he's warping in even more zealots. I don't think this one makes sense. I don't think continuing to go in makes sense. I think you got to run away with this one. Astrea goes for it anyway. He's like, YOLO, fuck it, let's go. Why? Because he's got a 4th up. He took a 4th during all this, so he doesn't care. He's like, I'll trade zealots all day. I don't care if they're average trades. He's like, dude, that's actually fine. And Vindicta finds it. And he's like, what the hell is this? What is this? Vindicta is like, are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? Oh, that's amazing. He's like, oh, you freaking serious, dude? Oh my god. He's like, okay, I have a second opening into my base. That's how it goes, I guess. GG's, dude. GG's. 5th base goes down for Astrea as well. He does have a second robo and a second forge on the way. So he's trying to get up to that late game. He's already got a few disruptors out to help him. And notice the way he's shuffling his observers around. One of the best things to do as a really good Protoss player. He's got to move forward. He doesn't have much support in his army, remember? Not a lot of zealots. Phoenix spots a double drop on the left side. And that actually, I think, would have been powerful if it just continued into the main, just to force a Stalker Warp in there. And Vindicta being watched right now at every moment. A cannon on that right side looks like just killed a single Marine Scout or something of that nature. Vindicta at this point's got to be a little triggered because he's kind of feeling a little bit all in here on 2-2. He starts a 4th on location as a bit of a desperate bid to get back in the macro game. He's still got a giant army, but just feels like he's, you know, it feels like Astrea's ready for him everywhere he moves. Balls! Second ball complete with first ball also didn't find the mark. One disruptor went down. 5th base going to get cancelled there. Got to cancel that now. It does cancel it. The Zealot Archon, very good as a nice A-move defense squad. Not good at shooting down medevacs, but they're very good at just jumping on units as they're flying around and dealing with it. And where's the Phoenix, guys? He's got only one Phoenix, so he's going to fly it over from the right of the map, try and push that drop out of there. But in the meantime, Vindicta, he's going to try and... Ooh, I do like the idea of this. Set up most of the army there and just send like 2 drops of bio and shuffle them along the right side if you can. But the Colossus are there controlling the ramp, so we can't get up there. Ooh, okay, nice EMPs, and Archon goes down. One of the drops fell on the bottom side to the Phoenix, and then those Archons landing some hits on it. And I think it's time for more run-bys for Astrea right now. Vindicta's very afraid with his pushes. You can see he's really kind of like trying to centralize them. He does actually have a big army at home, though, so he's a bit more ready for those moves. Of course, guys, keep in mind, this is centuries later, this map. A very interesting map, very creative. It's part of the freestyle map category, which in the Team Liquid map contest is maps that are meant to be played a little bit differently. They just have unique mechanics. It's kind of like Golden Wall would be one of those maps that we kind of think about as being really interesting. We don't always get a freestyle map in each season, though I really wish we did get 2 freestyle maps almost. I'm a big fan of a 9 maps in a season. I think would create a much more interesting and varied StarCraft environment. If you need to give players an extra veto on the ladder to make up for that so that they can reduce the variability if they prefer, I'm totally fine with that. I just think it would be really cool if we had an extra map or 2. 8 or 9 maps in the season would be fantastic in my opinion. So 4th base is up. 3-3. Advanced ballistics. Oh, he's going lib range. I think I had a dream about lib range yesterday. Can't remember what it was. That's crazy. I know that's a weird thing to dream about, but you know, things that I wish were used more, but Terran players just don't make it there very often. Lib range is very high on that list for me. Getting there before the Protoss gets to Tempests and Carriers, though, is kind of rough. Once they get those units up, it really becomes a complicated army. Range libs for zoning, and you've got Ghosts trying to EMP, Vikings trying to snipe units. Uh-oh, caught out in the open. Great move. Look at this movement by Astrea. He's trying to blast the tanks, but the tanks kill the disruptors just before they fire. Those tanks were about to get shot, but beautiful play. And look, Vindicta goes for a triple drop. Ooh-wee. Gonna go for the battery first is a wise decision. Great recall, though. And a little slow on the pickup. Does lose the full medevac in the red. The other units get caught on the way home, though. Throws the balls, and once again, Astrea's balls unable to find the nut this time. Usually it's pretty easy to just explode but Vindicta, he's quick with a swift punch to the nads and unable to let them go off. So Astrea with some bruised balls in this game, but the Zealot run-bys, that's what's winning it for him. They just keep finding way too much. Vindicta struggling to deal with the multi-prong, and it's an oppressive feeling when you play someone like Astrea who just has such good map vision. He has such good map vision, and that's the problem is... So I'll give you guys an example. This reminds me, for Vindicta, from his point of view, of... I played TvT on Clittering Ashes against Bjorn, and I kind of shut down his first push, and then I was like trying to just get a lot of movement going in the mid-game with a heavy bio army, and every single time I moved somewhere, he was sieged in front of me, no matter where I moved, and he knew exactly where I was, and every time I tried to go around, he knew where I was, and it was like this feeling of like, oh, I'm getting outplayed just because he's just so much more aware of the map and has better movement than me. And my whole strategy is to win with movement. And that's kind of what TVP always is, right? Is you're always trying to win with movement. That is a sky wall. That is a sky wall, Vindicta. Oh no, the units are bugging out. He's gonna run in there. The medevacs are bugging out. They're finally gonna break command and try to unload, but the Archon Zealot's already there, so that gets shot down. The army, they're doing pretty well. Oh, okay. Tanks are doing pretty good. I mean, Vindicta's army here is just a bit too small though, so he could just get wiped by a big old Zealot Colossus A move. Looks like maybe a DT died there. I'm not sure what that was. That a DT? Units lost that. Is there no DT shrine? Are you kidding me? Oh, there's no DT shrine. Wow, Astrea doesn't have a DT shrine. That's super weird for this stage of the game. against a 5-base Terran. Some DTs trickling in there would be exactly what a Terran player doesn't want to be facing. He's going to go forward. He's got to be careful, though. Army coming from behind. Bad attack for Astrea. This is a terrible engagement for him. Unless his balls land big. Oh, okay. I didn't realize he had the balls in reserve. I didn't even see those. And yeah, as long as you got the balls to fall back on those disruptor shots, works out just fine. And this army is going to move down to that bottom left side. Sensor tower is there as well. We've got a planetary in the top right. Army moving on forward. Astrea keeps expanding behind this, and his upgrades 3, 2, 1. He's adding +2 shields, +3 ground armor. Keeps re-expanding, dropping these next side. His income's not great, so Astrea can't really afford to be inefficient. That's why he's moving his army. He's trying to catch the very siege-up, immobile Vindicta army on the move. And notice the observers see Vindicta moving north, and then he goes back in. And this is the advantage of having sniped that sensor tower. He went in, sniped the sensor tower, pulled back. Vindicta assumes he's going to rotate back to the north, but because he didn't drop a scan on the army, gets caught out of position. The observers see everything, and it's kind of funny because I look at this and I'm like, Vindicta could totally be on par with Astrea, but the strategic element that he needs to focus on is information denial, and it's much easier said than done. But basically, he needs to either get a Raven, I know, build a turret out here, build some more forward turrets to get rid of these observers, drop the occasional scan in these central areas, and he needs to send drops not to go unload, but to actually go clear up the spotting units. He needs to actually just run squads of bio around the map, cleaning these zealots up, rather than just dropping as well, because Astrea essentially has too much map vision, and as a result has been able to make the correct decisions far too often about where to move his army, where to fight, and he's able to fight with more units than his opponent in a lot of these scenarios. So clearing the observers, really good, but also clearing the zealots and the pylons, which Astrea is a big user of those budget spotting units. And you guys would notice Zest recently has been playing very light on observers and very late on robos. There's a reason why Zest is GSL champion at the moment, guys. He's been putting pylons and probes and zealots and spotting gateways all out over the place, and that's been giving him map vision. These Phoenix doing the Lord's work for Mr. Astrea. That army's going to drop in there, and it's a bit of a sacrifice, but his army pushing on the right side is occupying Astrea. Astrea has not jumped on that drop just yet, and Vindicta's doing a really great job of just dancing around in multiple angles, avoiding the disruptors. And you know what? He should be able to kill that Nexus, I think. Those disruptors are looking very fragile right now. Looking very bruised, those balls. They could go down easily. Stalkers are going to finally catch 2 of those drops. Will they get the third? Almost. Barely survives. Might just queue that to unload, but he's going to keep it in the dead space for now. Try and keep him busy. Nice hot pickup there. Will get the Nexus and a bunch of these probes, but this could come at a large cost. Disruptor finishes off his own thing there. Get out of there before the carriers get on top. Unsiege the libs, unsiege the tank, run home Vindicta, but oh, no time to do that. He's getting jumped on. Astrea is going to pounce. A very good move by Astrea. He's taken a lot of economic damage here, but he's like, okay, cool. You've managed to commit everything to these extreme flanks to outposition me. You're going to kill some economy. I'm going to kill you. And he should go straight for the production. He should go straight for the production, in my opinion. Yes, there's drops coming home, libs as well, which do, by the way, have lib range and +1, remember. So those are absolutely beastly units in terms of their ability to zone stuff out. Astrea not going any deeper. He's going to pull home and defend, but I don't know. Is that the right call when you've taken that much economy? I mean, he's got such a big army supply. I guess you just want to gather the carriers before you attack. He's like, yeah, we'll hit with 7 carriers. Chrono these and then A move. And yes, I'll rebuild some probes. He doesn't have enough supply to rebuild a lot of economy, but I think he's like, whatever. I've got 7 disruptors, 7 carriers. I mean, I'm gonna push with this army, and it's gonna win the game. There's no way Vindicta can rebuild an army big enough to deal with that. Not to mention, dealing with that army is so difficult. You'd like to have probably, I'd say 16 or 17 Vikings with some good upgrades. Only +1 air weapons, no armor. And armor's very important against those carriers. Disruptors clearing a lot of the SCVs. Vindicta doing the old in and out. He actually popped SCVs into the planetary to dodge a disruptor shot, popped them back out, and keeps it alive with some god tier micro. Vindicta, super sick defense there. I don't think he can win, but you gotta pay tribute. When someone's in a really dead position and they still do sick micro like that, pay tribute. Show some respect. The Colossus on move command for a moment there. They do walk in, and they're very low. But Vindicta gonna get wiped there. And what can I say, guys? Massive respect to Astrea for thinking about the map in a very cool way. And can we just kind of point out that this got built at about 2 minutes, And this probe spent the next 7 minutes mining out this 200 mineral wall. Was it 9 minutes, I think, when it finally opened up, right, guys? Oh, so sick. So sick. He almost returned a load home there. And he's like, it was 9 minutes 20 when it opened up, 9 minutes 30. And these zealots, literally, Astrea was in a really hard spot. And this is so unfortunate for Vindicta, just having no spotting units there. His whole army was on the other side of the map, and he didn't even have any units really popping out. This is like the worst possible moment. It's right when the Terran has just hit maybe a supply block before that or something. They've just left with their whole army. They maybe missed a round of production, so they didn't have anything else there. And these zealots absolutely ruined him. You go girl. You go, Astrea. You go boy just doesn't have the same ring to it as you go girl. So I'm saying you go girl there for Astrea. Sounds better.